The sun dipped low on the horizon, casting long shadows across the attic room, where I found solace in the pages of an old photo album. The air was heavy with the scent of aged paper, a portal to a time when innocence clashed with the harsh realities of a family divided. As my fingers traced the edges of each photograph, the sepia-toned memories unraveled, weaving a narrative of my past. In the faded images, the essence of my childhood unfolded. James, my twin brother, with laughter dancing in his eyes, stood at the epicenter of my parents' affection. Their love, a radiant spotlight, illuminated his frail form as a heart condition demanded their undivided attention. I, the silent observer in the periphery, craved the warmth that was perpetually bestowed upon him. The turning point arrived when James's condition took a darker turn, ushering him in and out of sterile hospital rooms. Fear carved lines on my parents' faces, and I became the collateral damage of their worry. An unspoken decision echoed through the corridors of our home. They sent me away. The attic, now my sanctuary, held secrets of those tumultuous years. A dusty box in the corner housed a faded teddy bear, a forgotten relic of a time when I sought comfort in inanimate arms. Beside it, an old letter from James, written during one of his hospital stays, served as a haunting reminder of our shared pain. At the tender age of 9, my world crumbled, and my parents orchestrated a departure that would define my adolescence. They shipped me off to live with my uncle, a decision that would, unbeknownst to me, alter the trajectory of my life. In their quest to save James, they abandoned me, a black sheep, in the tapestry of their priorities. The transition to my uncle's home was a seismic shift from neglect to nurture. My uncle, a beacon of stability, and his wife Sarah embraced me with open arms. Their love was a lifeline, rescuing me from the undertow of abandonment. Nights filled with shared laughter, family dinners, and bedtime stories replaced the deafening silence of my parents' indifference. The album's pages chronicled the stark contrast between my past and present. Saneness of birthday parties, school events, and everyday mundanities were no longer marred by the looming shadow of neglect. The love I found in my uncle's home became the foundation upon which I rebuilt my fractured sense of self. As I closed the photo album, the weight of my past lingered in the air. The attic, a silent witness to my journey, held the remnants of a time when I was the forgotten daughter. Yet, the ache of abandonment was tempered by the warmth of my chosen family. I descended from the attic, the echoes of childhood echoing in my ears, ready to face the complexities of a past that had shaped, but not defined, the woman I had become. The restaurant buzzed with a low hum of conversation, a symphony of clinking cutlery and muted laughter. Across the table, my father's eyes betrayed an unexpected vulnerability, a crack in the facade I thought impenetrable. The question hung in the air, a delicate dance between the past and the present. "Emma," he began, his voice carrying the weight of unspoken narratives. "I've been thinking. I want to walk you down the aisle." I couldn't help but laugh, the sound escaping like an unexpected melody in a somber ballad. The absurdity of his request tickled the corners of my disbelief. Why did he feel entitled to a role he had willingly relinquished? The laughter, a temporary reprieve, dissipated into an uncomfortable silence. "Why?" I asked, searching his eyes for an ounce of sincerity. "What makes you think you deserve that honor? You were the one who abandoned me." His gaze wavered, caught in the crossfire of accusations. The past, a murky tapestry of neglect, reared its head, demanding acknowledgement. I felt the eyes of other diners on us, oblivious witnesses to a familial drama unfolding in the unaccustomed backdrop of a restaurant. He attempted to explain, stumbling over words that couldn't bridge the chasm he had created. The truth, a ghostly figure, lingered beneath his words. As he spoke, I saw the wounded child in him, the father who had perhaps grappled with choices that painted him the villain in my story. The tension in the air was palpable, a thick fog settling around us. My laughter, a momentary burst of defiance, now felt like a bitter aftertaste. My emotions, a tempest beneath a calm surface, threatened to break free. "Why now?" I pressed, my tone steady, belying the storm within. "After all these years, why do you suddenly want to play the part of the father?" He fumbled for words, a desperate attempt to salvage a narrative slipping through his fingers. The restaurant's ambiance faded into the background as our conversation became a battlefield of unresolved grievances. As he spoke, I felt a surge of anger, not just for myself, but for the 9-year-old girl who had been abandoned. The wounds, long buried, resurfaced, and I realized that his request wasn't about mending our fractured relationship. It was about salvaging his image, a belated attempt at redemption. The dinner table transformed into a confessional booth, our truths laid bare. The weight of his request sat heavy on my shoulders, and I grappled with the decision that loomed ahead. To grant him this privilege meant rewriting history, accepting a role he hadn't earned. To deny him was to assert my agency, to declare that I would not play a character in his facade of familial redemption. As the dinner drew to a close, the unresolved tension lingered. My father left with a tinge of disappointment in his eyes, a narrative unrevised. I remained at the table, grappling with the choice ahead, a choice that transcended the Eisler and issued the resilience that defined my journey from abandonment to empowerment. The kettle whistled softly, a harmonious backdrop to the quiet conversation between my uncle and me. The kitchen, adorned with the smell of chamomile tea, felt like a sanctuary of shared secrets. My uncle, a pillar of unwavering support, looked at me with eyes that held the weight of years of understanding. As the steam rose from the teacup, so did the memories of warmth and laughter that painted my time with him. Flashbacks danced in the air, showing scenes of shared meals, bedtime stories, and the simple joy of being seen. Each recollection unfolded like a cherished page from the photo album of my past. "Emma," he spoke gently, his voice a comforting melody. "I've seen you grow from a quiet girl into the strong woman you are today. Your journey, though challenging, has brought you here." His words, like a balm to an old wound, resonated deep within me. I traced the rim of the teacup with my fingertips, absorbing the warmth that extended beyond the ceramic vessel. The kitchen became a haven, a place where the wounds of my past were acknowledged and healed with every uttered syllable. "I remember the day you first came to live with us," he continued, the timbre of his voice weaving through the room. "Your laughter was like a beacon of hope. It was clear you needed the love and attention you weren't getting elsewhere." The steam curled around his words, creating an ethereal atmosphere that seemed to suspend time. In those moments, I saw myself through his eyes, a young girl in need of love, finding solace in the embrace of her chosen family. The memories were not merely nostalgic, they were a testament to the resilience that had become the cornerstone of my identity. As we sipped our tea, the weight of unspoken gratitude hung in the air. My uncle's wife, Sarah, entered the room. Her presence, a seamless addition to the familial tapestry we had woven over the years. There was an unspoken understanding among us, an understanding that family was not confined by blood, but forged through shared experiences and a commitment to each other's well-being. The conversation shifted, seamlessly intertwining the present with reminiscences of the past. We laughed, shared anecdotes, and in those moments, I realized the profound impact my uncle had on shaping the person I had become. The warmth in his embrace extended beyond physical proximity. It was a sanctuary that mended the fractures left by my parents' neglect. As the evening unfolded, the kitchen transformed into a space where the past and present coexisted harmoniously. I felt a sense of gratitude for the love that had been my refuge and for the resilience that had blossomed in the wake of abandonment. In that cozy kitchen, surrounded by the aroma of chamomile tea and the echoes of shared laughter, I discovered the power of chosen family, the strength derived from bonds that weathered the storms of abandonment and blossomed into a narrative of self-discovery. The chapter closed with a sense of contentment, as if the warmth of the teacup had seeped into the very fabric of my being, fortifying me for the chapters yet to unfold. The air in the room was dense with history, heavy with the weight of unanswered questions and unspoken truths. My father and I stood on opposite ends of a battlefield forged by abandonment and neglect. His eyes, once familiar, were now strangers, unable to meet mine in the harsh light of confrontation. "Emma, you can't be serious," he began, his voice stumbling over the words, as if uncertain how they would land. "I want to be a part of your wedding, to walk you down the aisle. It's what fathers do." A wry smile touched my lips, a mask for the torrent of emotions brewing within. "What fathers do?" I echoed, the words laced with a bitter irony only we understood. "You want to play the role of a father now? Where were you when I needed one?" The room echoed with a silence of unspoken regrets. Memories of a childhood dominated by my twin brother's illness and my parents' abandonment loomed large. The walls, witnesses to years of emotional distance, seemed to close in as the past unfurled between us. "I had to make a choice, Emma. James needed us," he pleaded, as if that explained the years of silence and absence. "And what about me?" The words escaped my lips before I could hold them back. "Did you think about me when you left me in the care of Uncle John? Did you ever consider the little girl who longed for her parents but found solace in the arms of another?" The room pulsed with the echoes of my accusation. My father, once a towering figure, now seemed diminished under the weight of his choices. The confrontation hung like a storm cloud, threatening to unleash the downpour of years of unspoken pain. "I did what I thought was best," he insisted, his gaze finally meeting mine, though it carried the weight of avoidance. "Best for whom?" I shot back, my voice a thunderclap, cutting through the tension. "Certainly not for me. You left me, forgot me, and now you want to waltz back into my life as if nothing happened." The room seemed to blur as emotions surged within me. The ghost of a little girl, yearning for a father's love, clashed with the woman who had forged her own path, found her own strength. The crossroads stretched before us, a choice between the past and the autonomy I had fought so hard to claim. "I won't let you rewrite the narrative now," I declared, my voice steadying despite the tempest within. "You had your chance, and you chose to abandon it. I won't let you take the spotlight on a day that celebrates the love and connection I've built, not with you, but with those who stood by me." The confrontation reached its zenith, the room holding its breath, as if bracing for the fallout. My father's eyes reflected a mix of regret and defiance, a clash of emotions that mirrored my own. The crossroads awaited our choices, a threshold between the past and the unwritten chapters ahead. The room was dimly lit, the soft glow of a solitary lamp casting a warm aura across the walls, adorned with memories. I found myself seated on the worn-out couch, surrounded by the artifacts of my past, photographs frozen in time, capturing moments that felt like distant echoes of a bygone era. As I opened the photo album, the pages rustled with the weight of untold stories. Each image held a fragment of my journey, a mosaic of emotions painted on the canvas of memory. The first photograph depicted a younger version of me, standing beside my twin brother, James. His radiant smile, a stark contrast to the reality of his fragile heart, told a story of resilience amid adversity. Turning the page, I was transported to a realm where laughter echoed through the walls of my uncle's home. There, in the candid snapshots of family dinners and bedtime stories, I saw the love and attention I had longed for in the eyes of my uncle and his wife, Sarah. Their warmth became a sanctuary, sheltering me from the emotional neglect that had defined my early years. A series of images unfolded like a reel, capturing the essence of a chosen family that had embraced me when my biological one had faltered. The sepia tones of shared meals, the vibrant hues of birthday celebrations, and the candid shots of simple, everyday moments painted a narrative of love, chosen over obligation. Present-day scenes mingled with the past, seamlessly blending the chapters of my life. The album became a journey through the labyrinth of emotions, from the pain of abandonment to the solace found in the arms of those who became my anchors. Each photograph, a brush stroke in the mural of my identity, told a tale of resilience and transformation. In the midst of the visual narrative, I paused to reflect on the upcoming wedding, the symbolic culmination of a journey fraught with abandonment. The decision to have my uncle walk me down the aisle was more than a mere choice. It was a reclamation of agency, a declaration of the importance of chosen connections over blood ties. The room, filled with the hushed whispers of memories, witnessed the evolution of a girl who had once felt abandoned into a woman, embracing the strength derived from her past. As I closed the album, the echoes of the past reverberated within me, shaping the contours of my identity and infusing the upcoming ceremony with profound significance. The journey from abandonment to empowerment was a tapestry woven with threads of resilience, love, and chosen family. As I set the album aside, a sense of quiet determination settled within me, a recognition that, beyond the aisle, awaited a future defined by the strength forged in the crucible of my own history. The morning sun painted the sky with hues of rose and gold, casting a warm glow over the tapestry of our chosen family. Amidst the whirlwind of preparations, I felt the weight of the wedding gown that adorned me, symbolic not only of the commitment to Jess, but of the resilience that carried me to this moment. In the quiet corners of the bridal suite, my chosen family flitted around, their laughter and chatter weaving a cocoon of familiarity. My uncle, the linchpin of my support, stood by, a quiet pillar of strength. His eyes held a knowing twinkle, an acknowledgement of the journey that brought us here. As I looked into the mirror, I saw not just a bride, but a woman who had risen from the ashes of abandonment. The anticipation in the air was palpable, each breath echoing the heartbeat of a new beginning. Jess, radiant and eager, shared glances that spoke volumes, promises of a future built on shared dreams and chosen connections. The resonance of our love was a counterpoint to the echoes of a past scarred by neglect. The ceremony venue, adorned with flowers and whispers of promises, awaited the moment when our paths would intertwine in the presence of those who had become my family by choice. The pace of the day quickened, a harmonious crescendo building toward a climax of profound significance. As I made my way toward the ceremony, the aisle stretched before me like a metaphorical bridge, a passage between the old and the new, the abandoned and the embraced. The touch of my uncle's arm, a reassuring anchor, guided me forward. Each step resonated with the cadence of my heartbeat, a rhythmic testament to the strength that had brought me here. The ceremony unfolded like a tapestry of emotions. The exchanged vows were not just promises of love, but declarations of resilience, acknowledgments that we were choosing a path defined not by blood ties, but by shared experiences and unwavering support. In the eyes of our chosen family, I found reflections of understanding, empathy, and celebration. As we exchanged rings, the weight of the metal on my finger felt grounding, an emblem of a union built on strength and choice. The officiant's words, though spoken to the gathered witnesses, resonated as a personal narrative, a story of rebirth, empowerment, and the triumph of love over the wounds of the past. The celebration that followed was a kaleidoscope of joy and laughter, a collective exhalation of the challenges overcome. The dance floor became a canvas where chosen family and blood ties merged in a celebration of unity. In the warmth of the embraces, I found solace, the kind that comes from knowing you've chosen your path, embraced your narrative, and emerged whole. As the night unfolded, I stole a moment of quiet reflection. Surrounded by the hum of celebration, I marveled at the twists of fate that brought me to this crossroads. The chosen path had led me to a profound understanding that family isn't defined solely by blood, but by the bonds we forge in the crucible of shared experiences. In the glow of the moon, I whispered a silent gratitude to the universe for the chosen family that surrounded me, for the love that healed the scars of abandonment, and for the resilience that allowed me to stand in the spotlight of my chosen path, ready to embrace the unwritten chapters yet to come. The scent of fresh flowers lingered in the air, a delicate perfume that danced with the anticipation of the impending ceremony. As I stood in the bridal suite, adorned in ivory lace, my reflection in the mirror echoed the journey that led me to this pivotal moment. The soft rustle of silk accompanied each step as I approached the ornate door, my pulse quickening with the weight of the decision I had made. The ivory satin of my dress cascaded like a waterfall, a visual testament to the transformative power of resilience and the love that surrounded me. The door swung open, revealing the aisle, adorned with delicate petals. The chosen family I had carefully cultivated sat with expectant smiles, their eyes reflecting the shared triumphs and joys that had brought us to this celebration. My uncle, a pillar of support, stood at the threshold, a symbol of the fatherly love that had guided me through the shadows of abandonment. As the music swelled, I took the first step, each footfall resonating with echoes of my past and the newfound strength that propelled me forward. The aisle unfolded like a tapestry of memories, each step revealing fragments of laughter, tears, and the resilience that had become the anthem of my journey. The gaze of the assembled witnesses, a mosaic of familiar faces, held a collective breath. The symphony of emotions played out in their eyes: pride, joy, and the silent acknowledgement of the scars I bore. In that moment, the aisle became a bridge between the abandoned roots of my past and the blooming garden of my chosen family. My uncle, adorned in a simple yet dignified suit, awaited me at the altar. His eyes held a depth of understanding that transcended the spoken word. As I reached his side, a tender smile exchanged between us spoke volumes, a silent promise that the bond we shared was unbreakable. The officiant's words became a melody, weaving a narrative that encapsulated the essence of my journey. The vows, uttered with sincerity, echoed not only the commitment to my partner, but also the vows I had made to myself: to honor the resilience that defined me, to cherish the chosen family that embraced me, and to navigate the complexities of love with a heart unburdened by the shadows of abandonment. With the exchange of rings, a circle of commitment materialized, a promise to forge ahead, to embrace the uncertainty of the future, and to carry forward the lessons of the past. The applause, a crescendo of celebration, reverberated through the sacred space, acknowledging not just the union of two souls, but the triumph of an individual spirit. As we recessed down the aisle, confetti rained down, a jubilant cascade that mirrored the showering of love I had longed for in my formative years. The reception awaited, a symphony of laughter, toasts, and the clinking of glasses. The dance floor beckoned, inviting us to sway to the rhythm of newfound joy. The evening unfolded in a kaleidoscope of moments. The heartfelt toasts from chosen family members, the laughter that echoed through shared stories, and the dance that blurred the boundaries between past and present. The air hummed with the resonance of celebration, a testament to the resilience that had not only shaped my journey, but had become the guiding force behind this union. As the night drew to a close, I stood beneath a shower of sparklers, the golden trails illuminating the darkness. The warmth of my uncle's embrace, the laughter of chosen family, and the love of a partner who understood the intricacies of my story cocooned me. The journey from abandonment to empowerment, from shadows to light, had reached a crescendo. In the glow of the sparklers, I glimpsed the unveiled future, a tapestry woven with threads of resilience, love, and the unwavering strength of chosen connections. The stars above seemed to align, witnessing not just a union, but the triumphant narrative of a woman who had reclaimed her story. The sunlight filtered through the lace curtains, casting a warm glow on the room adorned with mementos of love and resilience. The echoes of the wedding day lingered, a melody of laughter and vows that had woven the fabric of a new chapter. Surrounded by the whispers of family, chosen and embraced, I found solace in the aftermath of a journey that had transcended the confines of abandonment. The photographs on the walls chronicled the moments that had shaped me. The laughter shared over shared meals, the bedtime stories that painted dreams, and the unconditional love that had become the foundation of my chosen family. In every captured smile, I saw the echoes of a past marked by neglect, transformed into a mosaic of strength and self-discovery. As I traced my fingers over the framed images, the epiphany of resilience echoed within me. The symbolism of walking down the aisle with my uncle by my side extended beyond a single ceremony. It encapsulated a lifetime of choices, of refusing to be defined by the scars of abandonment. The chosen path had led me here, to a space where the wounds of the past were not forgotten, but were transformed into beacons of growth. Beyond the aisle, life unfolded in hues of contentment. The phone calls with my parents remained sporadic, a reminder of the distance that persisted. Yet, in their occasional inquiries, I sensed a tentative bridge reaching towards closure. Whether it would be crossed remained uncertain, but I had found my equilibrium in the embrace of those who had chosen me unconditionally. The journey from the black sheep to a bride had been a metamorphosis of the spirit. My chosen family, the pillars of my support, stood with me in every stride. The resilience that had defined my narrative became a torchbearer, illuminating the path ahead. With each passing day, I embraced the intricate dance of forgiveness and self-love, recognizing that the epilogue was an ongoing story of evolution. As I gazed out of the window, the city beyond whispered tales of resilience and chosen connections. The epilogue, like the cityscape, was a canvas that stretched beyond the horizon. The chapters to come promised new narratives, potential reconciliations, and the unwavering strength derived from the power of chosen family. The room resonated with a quiet sense of triumph. Beyond the aisle, beyond the confines of a past marked by abandonment, I stood as a testament to the transformative power of resilience. The epilogue was not an end, but a prelude to the unwritten chapters, each page waiting to be filled with the hues of growth, forgiveness, and the enduring embrace of chosen connections.